the daily puzzle, where today for a change the material balance at the start is even. However, there is a few things going on. First of all, the white king is out in the middle of the board, on e3. Our king not too safe either. The white rooks seem better placed at first sight than the black rooks, but thankfully it is our move to go first. And I think there are two big candidate moves here at the start. One is to start by looking for checks, see if we can somehow checkmate the enemy king. I think that's very tempting in this position. And the other is of course to go for rook e8, skewering the white queen and king. So let's start by looking at the check with queen g5. Now the king could even go back to f2. That's a little more risky. The best move is to go to either d4 or d3. It's not really going to make a difference, because even though we allow this pawn to be captured with check, after king d4 the computer says black doesn't have anything better than to make a draw by repetition here. So if you're interested in this position, you can analyze it further by yourselves, but basically queen g5 only leads to a perpetual, and that leaves us with the other move I was talking about, rook e8. Rook e8 is screaming out to be played, since it looks like we are winning the queen, but we needed to have seen one move further, because the question is, what do we do after rook c8? Suddenly we cannot take the queen anymore because the rook is pinned to the king. If we simply capture on c8 here, we're actually busted, because the king has to go out. And after rook d7 check, if the king steps forward, he's just gonna get mated immediately. Rook d5 is a checkmate. So in this position here, black will have to give up the queen, and that position is of course dead lost for black. So the question remains, after rook c8, what do? We cannot take the rook, we cannot take the queen, but we have one crafty winning move that we needed to have seen to begin with, and that move is the stunning queen c5, checking the enemy king. And the point here is that if the rook takes the queen, we now take the enemy queen, but with a check, and black cannot both stop the check and save the rook at the same time. So when the king moves, we are simply going to take on c5 and emerge with an extra rook.